Okay, now that I have my needle threaded, I am going to start on my canvas. Now, usually on your canvas, you're gonna have a design painted. For this one, I'm demonstrating in white, so it'll be easier for you to see my stitches. So, to start, there's gotta be a way to anchor your thread. And now, when I started out, I would just kind of hold my thread onto the back, which is kind of what you do in cross stitch. But honestly, the easiest way to start a brand new canvas is to use something called a waist knot. So on the opposite end of your thread, you're just going to make a little knot. I try not to waste too much. Put it at the very end and make a little knot in the end of my thread. Now, that knot I'm wanting to anchor to the top part of my canvas. So I'm going to put the needle through. So if I'm going to start stitching over here, I want to anchor it either horizontally or vertically. So I'm just going to pull it through the canvas here and pull it through until that knot catches. Okay, so now I've got my thread anchored. Now I'm going to start what is called a continental stitch. Okay, so I'm going to move over horizontally from my waist knot, pull it through. Okay, so you see I've got it pulled all the way through. There's nothing loose on that side. And then I'm going to start stitching. In a continental stitch, a continental stitch is a type of a tent stitch, and it's usually a stitch that we all start out with. Some people continental stitch forever. It's their favorite stitch. It's what's most natural to them. It's just your choice. So a tent stitch is just a stitch that goes from the bottom left to the top right, or from Arizona to New York. So you're going to stitch over these little intersections that you see here, okay? And I'll talk more about that in the next video. But I'll just demonstrate how this waist knot is keeping this anchored, okay? So as I come through the back, you'll see that I am stitching over that anchored thread, okay? Because it's perfectly horizontal to where I started stitching, my stitches are going over that and they're gonna hold it into place. And I'm just going to keep stitching from Arizona to New York. Sometimes on a small canvas, it's kind of hard. My thread is getting caught in the corner here. And I'm just gonna keep stitching and keep going until I'm at the once I get close to that waist knot, then I will show you how to deal with the waist knot. Okay, so you can see all of my stitches are going in the same direction, throwing it out, okay? And I'm getting closer and closer to my waist knot. So, now that I'm at my waist knot or pretty close to it, I need to eliminate the waist knot, okay? So what I'm going to do is pull it up to make sure I do not cut my canvas, that I'm only cutting the waist knot itself. And then I'm going to cut right underneath that knot, trim it off, and now that knot is eliminated and my thread is anchored well to the canvas.